I'm going to do my best not to show my hand, as it were. Not these hands. You can see these hands. They're beautiful. Muscular, strong, manly. That's not what we're talking about today. No, my political hand. We're in an election year. It's 2020. There's been no shortage of political unrest this year, and even really for the last 4 years. Regardless of your views on the matter, you cannot deny that there are differences of opinion when it comes to political involvement and the way our government is run. Put a pin in that for a second. The topic here is allowing something to happen is different than orchestrating a movement. Okay, and here's what I mean by that. If I, as a parent, say my daughter grows up and she starts to hang out with what I might deem as the wrong crowd, I'm not going to necessarily be able to stop her from doing that. I would be able to encourage her to choose her friends more wisely, to spend her time more carefully, to think about the result of her actions, as it were. But I can't actually do anything to stop her from spending time with those people. Beyond her being at home, in the house. She goes out, she's on her own. She's doing what she's going to do. That being said, like I mentioned, I can encourage her to be smart in the decisions she makes. So, if she were to hang out with that crowd and do something irresponsible or illegal, then she would have to deal with the results, the repercussions of those actions. Bro, I am here first. You gotta let me go. And not, get off easily. But that doesn't mean that just because she went and did that, that I, as her father, as the person that is in charge of her, that is the one responsible for her, I didn't cause that to happen. I didn't, put all the pieces in place and tell her that she has to behave that way. I simply allowed it to happen for a variety of reasons. One, I could have been ignorant to what she was doing. Two, I could have wanted her to learn a lesson and allowed it to happen so that she would then see what the result of her actions were. Or I could have been in the know the entire time and simply done nothing to stop it because I'm lazy and uninvolved and not taking my responsibility as the parent, as the authority figure, seriously. So let's wrap that back into the political statement here. Just because a person happens to be in a position while something is happening does not necessarily mean that they are the reason it was happening. Okay? I am my daughter's father no matter what. That is my position. That is the title that I have. But the things she chooses to do on her time, with herself, with her friends, is up to her. And therefore, if I support that, she's going to feel empowered. If I prohibit that, she's going to feel defiant. She may be even, pressed into submission, as it were. To the point where she's like, oh, I don't want to disappoint Dad, so I'm not going to do this. But it's not truly the way she feels. She's only just avoiding that action because she knows it will upset me. I hope you see what I'm saying here, because I'm not trying to defend or give strength to either side of the political argument. I've said before that I do consider myself a conservative, but I'm a conservative that is open to change. That it has an open mind, that is willing to listen and willing to talk and willing to go into more detail on the way that I feel about certain issues in our society today. But what I also want from people who are less open-minded is to realize that just because a person or a group of people happens to be in a position when the poop hits the fan does not necessarily mean that they threw the poop. I hope that makes sense. And again, it doesn't mean that they didn't throw the poop. They very well may have. But there is no guarantee either way. It is we are all victims of circumstance. Every single person throughout history. We are victims of the circumstances that surround us, and we are then given the task to adapt to that situation, change, and try again. Maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. But we just need to be aware and have open minds to the idea that allowing or being in authority when something happens does not necessarily mean that you caused it to happen. I'll talk to you tomorrow.